So the questions I've been seeing going around being asked, and they've been asked of me, is which religion is closest to being the right one? Which religion is true? Because when it all boils down to, people always ask that, who is right, who is wrong? And my opinion is based on my years of being a medium, but mostly it's on my near-death experience and what I've learned from that. I would say that I don't think any religion is exactly true. I really don't. I believe there's aspects of those religions that they have some good to them. But for the most part, I think they've just been corrupted so much over the years. They've been washed with just like guck and guilt and terrible things. I, for one, all my life have never had a belief in any religion, even from a child. My father was Catholic and my mother was Baptist. She's from the South here. My dad is from Wisconsin. And I went to both churches. Now in Christianity or in Catholicism, I thought it was the one thing I loved about it was, for me, it was always kind of creepy. I mean, it felt so empty and so weird, but I loved the statues. I loved the homage to the angels. I'm a big angel fan. I have been since I was a child. But there was so much punishment there, and I could just feel it. It just did not feel right. And then the baptism was judgment. I mean, it was like over judgy. I mean, my parents' church. When I was a little boy, my parents had told the story about, I was probably about like 6 or 7. I had to go to Sunday school when we came down here to visit. I live in North Carolina now, and we used to come here when I was a little boy. And my grandfather was a deacon in one of the churches, or whatever they call them. They seat people and do all that stuff. And I went to the Sunday school, and I will never ever forget the feeling. I didn't like it. I thought to myself, gosh, maybe I'm a demon. Maybe I'm the bad thing. There's like, I feel weird, like I don't belong here. And the teacher was telling 5 and 6-year-old kids about hell. And that was the one that they were talking about. They were talking about Satan and the devil and just saying stuff that I would never say to a child. I could not believe my ears. I was younger, and I thought it was horrific. And all the time I was sitting there, I thought, you liar. I mean, that's literally what was going through my head. I'm like, that's not true. What are you talking about? And that Sunday school got over with, and we went out to meet the adults in the church, and they asked me how Sunday school was, and I said, Mommy, I'm never going back there again. And I'm never. They said, they kept telling us we're going to burn. And my grandfather and everybody was standing around, they're like, oh, they're talking about hell, that's all. And as a child, I thought, that's not true. That was silly. I kind of knew that all along, though. I mean, I knew that very early on. I said, that's not true. Why would you go worship something that's going to send you to a fiery pit, It was odd. But enough about that. But that's something I grew up with. I knew that all along. I wasn't there. I think if you took every religion, everything there is, Buddhism, all of it, I mean, all of it, there are some beautiful aspects and there are some terrible aspects of all of them. And I think whatever religion, whatever you need to belong to, if that's what helps you be a good person, that's fine. Go do it. Because I'd rather have you do that than to be a mean person. I sat with my grandmother one time, and my grandmother's a Baptist, and we were watching this TV show. This was like a few years before my NDE, and probably about 15 years ago maybe. And we were watching TV at her house, and there's this evangelist show came on that she watched, and they were talking about hell. And I just turned to my grandmother, and I rolled my eyes, and she said, why are you rolling your eyes? And I said, because of that hell stuff. I said, that's terrible. I said, I don't believe in that hell crap. I don't believe that. And she says, you don't? She said, well, what makes you be a good person then? I was like, because I get off on it. I like being good. I don't need that threat. I will never forget her face because she looked at me and she said, fair enough. And that was it. She never questioned me about it again. I think at that moment, even she understood, if you need that threat in order to be a good person, then you're not a good person to begin with, really. But, you know, if that's what keeps you being a good person, by all means, believe. I believe the correct religion, or the correct thing, is whatever your heart tells you to do. I also, you know, for my NDE too, I see a lot of people who either blame God for, you know, God, you know, I still hear people, oh, God took your grandma the other day. No, God did not take your grandmother. That's when your grandmother decided to go. Nobody offed your grandmother. That was just time. And grandmother didn't even go. She's not even gone. She's just not here right now. You know, I get frustrated sometimes, but I can't always say anything. You know, I'm a medium. People think I'm crazy enough to begin with, you know, but blah. But you know what? I know. It's like when people talk about God, I don't believe there's a God. I literally know there's God just because of what I went through. I know it. I know it just like I know I'm wearing a black shirt. I mean, I know it. But I also know this too. It's not some dude sitting on a cloud telling you what you can and cannot do and demands you worship it. I don't see. Everything is God. We're all God. Everything's God. Everything makes up God. It's the all. It's the everything. You know? So, to get back to the original question, I don't believe that there is any one religion that is true. I mean, even if you took away the fear, even if you took away the manipulation, I still think there are definite problems with it. I'm sure it did serve its purpose, and I'm sure in the beginning there's probably something more to it, but over the years, I think man has totally screwed it up. And that's maybe why there's so many atheists nowadays. I don't think they're atheists because they don't believe in something or they just believe science, you know, you die and you're gone. I think half the people, I mean, they were told over and over, you better do with this what this dude said or you're going to be punished and burn in hell. Why would you want to fear something? Why would you worship something that was going to do that to you? So I totally get it. If somebody says I'm atheist, I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. I get it. You know? Sometimes I wish everybody would explore a little bit more outside religion. Even in spirituality, too. In spirituality, too, there's so much fear sometimes. Because it's sensationalized. Fear sells. It's fun to scare people. You get more attention when people scare you. You know? To be completely honest, though, it's going to be different for everybody. And I've been told that over and over by every person I've ever spoke with during mediumship readings and even during my NDE, the spirits that I talked to, the angels I spoke to, if you can believe that one, in my NDE is it's whatever you need is where you will go and what you will see. If you do need a perceived hell, then you'll probably experience something like that for a moment, but it wouldn't be for long anyway, because as soon as you were done experiencing it and you wanted to experience something different, you would just go to that, you know? So, I'll make another video about heaven and hell shortly. But that's all I got on that. I'm sorry I just kind of rambled away, but, you know, believe whatever you believe, whatever you need to believe. That's okay, I believe. A lot of belief there. But I don't think there is one that's got it right yet. I think the only people who have got it right are the people who just let others be. They do their thing and they just love unconditionally. I think those people have it. I think those people, that's the right religion right there. Anyway, if you have any questions you'd like to hear about what I know based off my near-death experience and being a medium, please go ahead and leave them in the comment. I would love to hear your take on it. And like I said, you can believe whatever you need to believe. This is just my opinion from what I know. And actually it's not, it's my truth. I mean, it's what I know. So have a really great day and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.